What is going on, everybody? It's your boy Spencer coming at you again with something a little different. So I obviously just did my Sacred Beast video. If you guys haven't checked that out, I would check out the structure deck opening and then also my build of what I use for heroes. looking ahead, but for my build of the Sacred Beast deck. But I like Hyperblaze. Don't get me wrong. I think it's whack the whole summoning condition thing is, but if you have to build a deck around Hyperblaze, that's the thing. So that's what I'm getting at today. So if Uria is your favorite Sacred Beast, because obviously all of this is casual, it doesn't go past that. I'm going to show you guys today my build of Uria, or at least show you some gameplay. I don't know if I'm going to end up building this out in real life. The decks are pretty darn similar, obviously, minus the trap cards. So I don't know. Let's get into it so you guys can see what I'm talking about here. That's pretty good to open up Hyperblaze. So yeah, obviously, I don't run a lot of traps in my regular build of Sacred Beast, but here you go. This is a little preview of what the deck's all about, and obviously, you know, I opened up this part of the combo, but the idea is to load up your graveyard, and also, you know, your beast monsters have a lot going on in the graveyard, so. That it kind of synergizes well with the Gates Unleashed, and obviously you're running 3 of them, so you don't have to worry too much about milling it. But yeah, this is a Lightsworn Uria deck, so yeah, like I said, I think you have to build an entire deck around it. It's much more offensive, but this is a trap card, so you like have to go first in order for it to be effective. So I don't know how you guys feel about it, but in any case, since I dumped all those spells and traps to the graveyard, and this isn't even a hard once per turn, which is pretty darn insane, I have to say. Now that there's 2 of them on the field, it's pretty hard to stop. And you can keep dumping them into the grave every time these guys declare an attack. I don't really know what he's doing, but he's trying to set himself up a little too late. I'd never even seen this before. Let's draw 2 more. And that's pretty cool, but I don't really need it. I can add a Haman back to hand. I do have 2, just because I do have the this in my deck. But yeah, this is obviously pretty beefy. It's able to get up. So the whole idea is that you're boosting Uria up as much as you can and as fast as you can. So these duels that you guys are going to see are more casual because, look, at the end of the day, like they play some powerful trap cards. That goes without a doubt. But you know, the big problem is that trap cards going second are way slower. So I still am way, like, I'm very preferential to my build of the Sacred Beast more, but again, if you guys like Uria, I want to show you guys a different side of things, because this deck ultimately, at the end of the day, is just about having fun. Playing like pure Kaiju is pretty cool. Didn't have like a power bond or anything, but let's take a look. So finally, I'm able to kind of do my thing here. This is full combo, obviously. So I got to protect this guy a little bit. He negates Almirage and Uria, but that's okay. I mean, if that's what he's negating, I feel pretty okay with that. And I have a spell and trap negate, which I guess is pretty cool. And then obviously, you know, eventually we'll dig into your trap cards here. So he Kaiju's my Haman. I don't even know if that was the right thing for him to do, honestly, but I can get it back. I don't understand. So I guess it has to be properly properly summoned first, but I don't know. I mean, I guess that's the way it works, but I don't want it to. Go ahead and lay this trap card down. Now he finally can't respond to my trap cards, which is great. And I can get my Haman back on the field. That turns off all his monsters' effects anyways, but does have Kaijus. But that's the same one, luckily for me. And I'm able to swing in for game here, or at least close to it. Let's activate Hyperblaze, and plus now I'm going to gain all the effects of traps, which I like a lot. I like the design of this card for sure. It's just trap cards inherently in 2020 just aren't as good, unfortunately. Here I got a couple Lightsworn. Charge of the Lightsworns is pretty good in general, and obviously it's part of my draw engine too. So I go ahead and like search what I want, you know. I'm like, okay, I have Uria, so I might as well, since I grabbed Hyperblaze. Draw 2. Pretty unfortunate that I milled all my Lightsworns in the deck, so I can't activate the second one, but it's okay. I have the Solemn Judgment, which is pretty cool. And he can't target me for attacks. Actually, Hyperblaze, but I think I'm a little short. But it's okay, I have another one in my hand. It's not like the biggest deal in the world. Especially when you hard draw that Chaos Summoning Beast, which is pretty great. And let's draw 2 more here. There we go. Finally get into some of my draw power, which helps me dump spells and traps, or helps me dump, you know, trap cards into the grave. Then I can activate this. That's another one. Feel pretty good at this point, honestly. It's a Blue Eyes deck, so what are you gonna do? He can't activate his effect, so there's nothing he can do about it. And this should be enough, hopefully. I grab another Chaos Summoning Beast because why not? It would have been cool to do another Uria, but who cares? Boom, and there's another one. So that goes there, and I ordered it correctly, obviously, so I get extra burn damage. Here's like a danger deck. Let's see. He's playing like Lightsworns, I guess, and also some of the new Tri-Brigade support. It's a pretty good opening. You probably don't want to run Skill Drain. That's a little bit... You can probably run another Sacred Beast Awakening, I guess, if you really wanted to, but... I don't know. It's just another continuous spell. It's one of the best in the game, so it's like... It feels kind of weird not to. I could have gone with Uria, but I did have that Skill Drain like I just mentioned with you guys, so... I thought that'd be a little more powerful, and again, I'm like, I know this is like a Uria deck, but every once in a while you will have to change your strategy. And for the most part, that pretty much spells the end of the game here. I just have to make sure I don't negate anything silly, and this is obviously negated anyway, so I don't know what he's trying to do. A lot of the time that's enough for game, so I negate that even though I don't have to, but I mean, who cares anyways. So yeah, that was that. Here's Dragma, which I guess is pretty competitive. So I'm gonna draw at least 2, which is fantastic. And there's a continuous spell in the graveyard, which is always nice. And I get a Chaos Summoning Beast, and since that was dumped, I can grab this. So there is synergy for sure. Like I mean, hopefully you guys have noticed that. Hoping to draw into my Hyperblaze, but I don't. I give myself protection here in case this bad boy leaves the field, which is pretty likely. Honestly, I'm just trying to negate anything that joins the field. So maybe not the best strategy in the world, but it was enough to stop him. So don't underestimate the power of that. I go ahead and grab this. That way I can grab Hyperblaze. Or I don't. I'm going for all my Sacred Beasts. I go for... This was silly. I honestly misplayed this like crazy. I should have just gotten Hyperblaze and called it a day, but... You know, life happens. People learn. I don't want to set this because I want... Well, I do set it, but... the idea is that I'm going to have a zone open eventually. That way I can put Hyperblaze down, but... I don't know. So again, he's in a pretty weird spot. He doesn't even summon... Now I can grab Hyperblaze, I'm assuming. There we go. Okay. So, starting to amass advantage like pretty quickly, obviously. And I can actually dump a continuous spell in the graveyard and grab one to my hand, so that automatically boosts his attack. So he is just summoning and summoning and summoning. I don't really care about my extra deck at all, so this is a very good deck against that. So he nukes my board, but luckily I don't take damage for the rest of the turn. That's what I was mentioning earlier for you guys. So the key for me is to get Hyperblaze on the field. And I can grab my Uria back, actually, which is very great. And then I can activate Hyperblaze, and that's a beefy 10,000 attack, boy. So you're really going for the one shot there. Here's Infernoids, which I guess isn't bad. Yeah, so this is going to happen a lot, guys. I just for this build. And obviously my build isn't... I don't think my build's the greatest at all. I hope it doesn't seem that way, but... I actually activate the effect of the Lightsworn because why not? They're in the deck, you might as well use them if you don't have anything else. I'm good off that because I don't want him to start tributing my monsters. That's the last thing I want. There we go. Finally a good top deck here, and I can start getting going. I always search this. This will help me summon my Uria from the deck. Might as well, right? And now I got two of these bad boys. And let's see what else I can draw. I just try to search everything I can. That way I have a higher chance of searching what I want. I try to protect my Uria. Maybe I shouldn't have, but... Again, I don't even have Hyper Blaze yet, which is silly. So yeah, this is the... If you're going first, it's really not bad. And he's trying to go into Access Code Talker, but he can't because it's Cybers. That's pretty good. Trying to dump my... And finally I can grab Hyper Blaze. He can't attack anything but this, so this guy's okay for now. Hyper Blaze will allow me to get my Uria back to hand. And I can throw another trap down there, obviously. So now he's already at 3,000. I try to dump more. It's unfortunate, honestly, what I get, but let's see if I can finally dump some spells and traps. I finally do. Let's activate Hyper Blaze and get this guy up to enough for lethal damage. Here's another Lightsworn. I feel like, I don't know, for some reason I'm playing Lightsworns a lot, but I think this is a pretty good matchup, honestly. And I think with Lightsworns, always it comes down to what you mill. Like, if you mill in what you want, what you don't. So it's a bit of a gambling deck, always, but that's how the news goes. Yeah, so that was a really good... See, that was a good one. So I dumped two, and I'm going to be able to get another one out there. And if I activate this at all... I'll get another 1,000 when the time comes. I go ahead and fire Almirage off just in case, who knows. So he's doing okay here. I still have protection for him though, and it's going to be hard for him to punch over him. He goes for the Gates and Leech, which I find pretty interesting. That gets thrown to the graveyard at least, so... And he can't attack anyways the turn he summoned. Might as well use his effect. Not that it was useful, but... I get this back. It's pretty easy to gain advantage back in Sacred Beast now, which is one of the good parts. I decided to attack first, and then main phase 2, obviously. Let's go for him on. Let's draw two more, see if I can get anything useful. And I get the Solemn Judgment, which is never a bad thing at all. And I can grab that back to my hand so I can search next turn. Which will help me search for another Hyper Blaze. Yeah, no, I'm good off of that. So the trap cards do work as long as you're not facing a big board going second, which is what happens a lot today. Here is it's whatever this deck is, a Gishki. I've seen it before, but yeah, it's pretty niche. In any case, hopefully you guys will see the goal of the deck here. Not a bad opening for sure. It's probably something a little similar you would see with my normal one. Honestly, I'm just waiting for him to activate his ritual spell. I didn't know he was playing Gishki at this point, but yeah, I mean, I was obviously pretty aware that he had... It was fusion or ritual based, so I was fine there. So he hits on that, which is not great, but that's a horrible top deck. That's another horrible one, but yeah, I'm able to at least get my second Sacred Beast out on the field. And I can grab it from the deck, that way I make sure I don't draw it anymore. No Hyper Blaze yet, that's kind of the problem, it's hard to get to sometimes. He can't destroy him. Everyone tries to go into Nightmare Cerberus, I feel like, until they realize. It's just, I mean, look how quickly you're able to a mass advantage. And finally I have Hyper Blaze, so I can add it to my hand. So 2 forms of interruption on his turn. There's one. There's a second one. And at that point, he's in a pretty tough spot. Go ahead and add that back to my hand. And now I'm starting to dump some traps finally. I mean, they had to be somewhere in the deck, right? And yeah, I can grab my Chaos Summoning Beast. And I can activate this. And there should be lots of traps in the grave. Yeah, he's up to 8,000. And that was enough for a lethal. Not that it mattered anyways, but that's the idea of the deck, so. Here is a mirror match, guys. This is actually not me. I thought it'd be interesting at least to compare what other people are doing. And obviously builds are going to be fairly similar, but I feel like his turn was a little underwhelming. And plus he's running Dimension Fusion, so yikes to me, honestly. So I'm like not too worried. I'm like, okay, what does he possibly have? I'm going to go full combo as far as I know. And I'm playing around his Sacred Beast Awakening the best I can. Let's go ahead and get rid of the Hyper Blaze. Honestly, I just seem to draw like very unfortunate things, but I feel as though I have plenty of forms of disruption. So I know I'm going to have probably at least 4,000 attack, which is okay. I'm trying to prevent him from summoning his beast, and he's running too many of each, and that's just kind of the general feeling I got from it. There's 4,000 my way. He goes for this, and I talked about recently how I thought they should have their own new fusion monster. Please let me know in the comments if you've heard of this. I haven't. It's not in the structure deck, certainly. Is it real? Is this real? Now I remember why I wanted to show this to you guys. So yeah, I'm trying to really start to put him in a tough spot. Especially because he already has his Raviel, and I know how hard that is. So he goes up to 8,000 attack. So I'm like, but that's plenty for me. I was one short, so it's fine. The top decking of the Dark Summoning is pretty darn good. And I normal summon, or I regular summon, I should say, this Uria. Especially because I know I have this Dark Beckoning Beast. Go ahead and attack first. He goes up to 10,000 attack, which is awesome. And I want to get rid of his... Maybe I could have gone into Sacred Beast Awakening, but not a huge deal. And I have 2 Hyper Blazes now, so it's time to go even further beyond. This is not a once per turn, like I said. So I can activate this twice. That's 14k Uria, baby. To the face. Here is a Tenyi matchup. So again, I don't like the fusion spells anyways. I'll have to look into it though. Hopefully you guys will let me know, because I just haven't seen the new support yet. Yeah, I know I have Hyperblaze my opening, which is always nice, so go ahead and do that. You can grab another Fallen Paradise. Opened it, which is whatever, but not the end of the world. I go ahead and dump the Dark Summoning Beast for next turn. This is a wacky little thing, so I'm like, let's not let that happen. I have Hyper Blaze, so I'm feeling okay. I dump it just in case he gets rid of my Fallen Paradise. I really don't know. So there he goes. He takes 2k of damage. He returns to my hand, which is fine, but I already had my... I think I already popped off my Alvarage, but just in case, I mean, why not? It can't hurt me. I'm going to be able to activate the effect of Uria, which it's honestly not a bad effect at all. Plus, he can't activate the secondary effect, so which is always good. I'm going to be able to boost the attack and keep going from there. So yeah, guys, that was the Uria build. If you guys are really interested, I guess I can show you like the deck profile for this. But I don't think I'd be... I might be able to actually already have all the cards. I don't know. I'll gauge the interest of the community. Other than that, guys, that's gonna do it for today. If you liked my Uria build, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. I feel like I should start doing that more, but I don't know. I hate asking for subs and stuff. Just do it if you want to, guys. It's up to you. In any case, I'll see you next time.